So continuing on, I had to break up the last part into two parts, but as I was saying, if you even notice that, what was I saying? President Trump representing David and the spirit behind these 5G networks, and in China right now representing Goliath and the giants. It even has a G for Goliath, and I didn't even realize that. And it's five brothers, the five giants, okay? And if you pay attention, guys, we even call all big tech platforms, we even call them tech giants. That's our clue, hello, from the Holy Spirit of what spirit is operating behind those platforms and behind those people. So let's continue and try and close the situation up. So we're starting off with boom. First, Trump signs a executive order blocking $117 billion tech deal from China. Then, when it comes to 5G, Trump bans 5G in the US. He's not going to let China build their infrastructure here in the United States, which any president would be crazy to allow them to do that. But not only is he banning it here, but he also tried to convince the entire European Union and United Kingdom. He tried to warn them and said, don't let them build it there either. So not only is he blocking billions and billions of dollars from them building in the US, but he's also risking hundreds of billions of dollars with telling them other countries, specifically Europe, to also ban. Do you hear the cash register? Do you hear all the billions and billions adding up of what they're losing out on now? And remember, I said in my video, when you go against the globalist lust and greed for power and money, that's when I began to have a feeling in the spirit of war as a result of it. They're going to try and retaliate with war, right? And we know that war did not manifest in a physical military war, but that it started with a tariff and trade war. That's how the prophecy first came to pass. And now we're at the point where it's turned into a BioWarfare. Are you starting to get the connection of how this all happened? So we've been going back and forth for a little while now. And here's the not all the European countries are listening to Trump at this time. They're saying, oh, opening up their doors, spreading their legs, saying, oh yeah, we'll let China in, come build 5G in our country. So guys, if you live in the European nations, EU, UK, Great Britain, please be in prayer over this, because that won't be a good thing for those technologies to come to your country. Now, let's look at this. This is just bringing back up the U.S.-China trade war. And now who won in that war? We won in that war because we eventually dominated them. The president dominated over them and eventually won and got them to come over here to us to sit down at the table and sign a trade deal to go into partnership together. So that shows us the fact that they came over to us to negotiate and come to an agreement and decision and a deal that we dominated over them. So they lost that trade war. Okay, so that's number two. They're losing. They're losing 5G in the world because of us. They're losing these trade wars because of us. They're losing these telecom billion-dollar telecom deals because of us, because America is rising back up in its independence and protective nationalist defenses over its own country and not just letting the globalists run and do anything they want. Okay? So the globalists are not happy about that. Now let's look at this how the coronavirus is helping China win the trade war. Very interesting. This article is saying that because of the outbreak, coincidentally, it will make it so difficult for China to fulfill its end of the bargain in phase one of the China trade deal. Doesn't that just work out very convenient for China that they're saying, oh, we can't help it, it's out of our control. This dangerous pandemic is on the loose, and we can no longer, it's hard for us to abide by the bargain or our terms in the trade deal. Now a picture should be crystallizing in your mind at what's really at work here. Okay? Let's move on. Here we have Secretary Pompeo discussing, and this is just recently, on the 8th. Okay? Today's the 12th, so this is just a few days ago. Secretary Pompeo is exposing China at the National Governors Association. And I don't want to play any video for copyright, but what he basically was saying is that China is spying on all of our elected government officials. They're basically trying to interfere in our elections by studying all of our mayors, our lower level officials, our senators on the state level to see who is pro-China and who is against China. And they're going to want to try to do everything they can to interfere to make sure that pro-China communist people are elected in our country. Obviously, because the other way around with someone like Donald Trump, a nationalist, as we can see, that's not really working in their favor for their globalist takeover mindset. Is somebody standing up for their own country. It's not working out well for them. They're losing too much money and power. So here he is putting it out on Front Street and exposing them like we know we just caught them spying on all of our state level